Hello, Professor. You asked me to do something personal, something with my art, and in my opinion in film, the strongest thing is the close-up. So, here I go. Each of us has the plague within him. No one on earth is free from it. We must keep endless watch on ourselves, lest in a careless moment we breathe in someone's face and fasten the plague and the infection upon them. It's wearying business to be plague-stricken, but even more wearying to refuse to be it. Albert Camus, The Plague. I used to say about my wife, she's not perfect, but she's perfect for me. I thought it was the best compliment in the world. I always thought about the poet Rumi, who would say, beyond all ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field and I'll meet you there. At the end, she told me how much she always hated it. You see, she was an addict. Hard to blame her for not feeling perfect when she was hiding that. But after 5 times of getting her to a program and 6 relapses, I just couldn't do it anymore. In sickness and health, we said, and some days I guess I wasn't enough, and other days I try to realize it wasn't my fault. So we went our separate ways, got divorced, and it broke my heart. This was the end of 2019, so I decided to myself, 2020 was going to be my year. COVID hits. We go into lockdown, work disappears, and with that, my insurance and my meds. So I find myself alone in the apartment where I lost my marriage, unable to go out, unable to see my friends, slowly losing my mind. The death of the world I thought I knew, the death of the world I thought we owed each other. And that's when my panic attack started. If you've never had a panic attack, it's kind of hard to explain how brutal they are, medically speaking. Your brain tells your body it's dying. So your body responds accordingly. Your heart races, can't catch your breath. You get hot flashes, cold flashes, you sweat and you shake, spewing whatever you can keep down from both ends. All this while a feeling of dread just hangs over you. One went on for 10 hours, so I got my friend to take me to the emergency room. Remember, this is COVID, so terrified is even adequate a word for how that made me feel. And when I do, they take my vitals, give me fluids, meds for the nausea. When they come back, they say, everything looks normal. You just had a panic attack. Time to go. We really need the bed. Every time it was the same, just stuck learning how to manage them, having them usually once a week, sometimes more. And this went on for 3 years. When I tell people I have PTSD, they ask what branch of the military I was in. And I guess I used to think about it the same way, that this only happened to people around guns, explosions and gunfire. And I remember my therapist saying, you know, your life blowing up counts too. And to be fair, it has sent me to the hospital 6 times, the most recent just last week. So I moved back home with my parents, back to my childhood home, in my old room. Everyone telling me, you just need to work again. I explain there's a strike, and even if they do resolve it successfully, the industry will still be in shambles. Spoilers, they didn't, and it is. I watch the news, and the only thing that seems more fucked up in the world I'm seeing is me. It doesn't seem like it's going to get better. Does it seem like it's gotten better to you? Robert Evans said, welcome to the crumbles, and I guess I'd have to agree. I guess I just keep asking, how did I get here? Have I always been here? I spiral, even more than before, shut my room, shutting down, in despair, despondent, not sure how to get up or what to do next, waking up every morning of every day thinking this must be a nightmare, or was this last 20 years just a dream? And that's when I found this book, through a video essay that changed my life. Carlos Mazza's How to Be Hopeless, the 2021 video essay about the 1947 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel The Plague by Albert Camus. The novel is set in the city of Oran, Algeria, as a deadly disease sweeps through the city. It starts with the rats, but before long, dozens and then hundreds of people start to die. Happy, normal, ordinary people are forced inside, trapped while they figure out what happens next. To quote the novel, there have been as many plagues as wars in history, yet always plagues and wars take people by surprise. Our town folk were no different. They did not have any more to blame than others. They just forgot to be modest. And through everything, it was still possible for them. They went on doing business, arranged for businesses, informed views. How should they ever give a thought to something like plague, which rules out any future, cancels journeys, Silences they change views, and they fancy themselves free, and no one will ever be free as long as there are plagues. Camus wrote this novel while living in Nazi-occupied France, and it has been widely seen as a metaphor for fascism. And before the pandemic, I would have said the same, but it's both. I believed that during a real crisis, we would set our differences aside and beat this thing together. That's how I really saw things. Turns out the film Contagion was a fairy tale, while the plague is the documentary. To quote Maz's essay, what he is talking about here is ego. Each of us private believes we are the main character, that we are in control. I know that I am, just one person out of billions, and that things happen to good people all the time. But I don't experience life that way. I experience as a me. And this is how I saw myself. Not Polish, not British, not Catholic or American, not even white, just Ken. To quote Maz again, if I work hard and try to be a good person, the world should leave me alone. Save the bad stuff for the people who really deserve it, right? But plagues don't give a shit about who you are or what you've got going on. They don't even have some sort of lesson. They just kind of happen. Forget whatever story you are trying to tell ourselves and try to survive this big, awful thing that we did not see coming. And at this point, I'm sure you're saying, wow, Ken, this is really depressing. Are you okay? And for me, it's about these 3 moments with 3 characters, each of whom actions have helped shape who I am today. Our main character is the doctor from whom the Starch shows up every day and chooses to fight. As the plague ravages Oran, as everyone wants to get out or give up, and they can't, and no matter what you do or try, the people around you just keep dying. He's exhausted, stressed, worried, horrified, but he chooses not to give up. Even when the treatments don't help and there's no cure in sight, when he's asked why he keeps fighting, he says, common decency. It made me realize why I needed to get up. A volunteer who asked the doctor just to take a short break and go to the beach. A moment of friendship. And even though they stay a handful of feet away from each other, he realized how much he needed it. And when that friend dies, it means all the more. It made me realize I needed to savor those moments more. And when a journalist who gets trapped in the city while on a job and spends the entire novel trying to escape, he finally gets his chance, he stays. Because he knows he is part of the city now. And this made me realize I'm part of the community whether I like it or not. This made me realize that I'm not the main character. It made me realize that we are in this together and that we are all scared. I have sympathy and empathy for my fellow prisoners. That all the way, the only way out is through, and the only way through is together. Or as Maza said, if my heart is to be broken, let it be broken open